Swami Vivekananda's quotes and life history. 158 years ago, Indian youth were challenged to arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached by Swami Vivekananda. A saint cannot only do spiritual service but also infuse national spirit. This was realized by him throughout his life. He rejuvenated the Indian youth until his last breath. This was indeed his greatest service. He made the Europeans realize that India was not a barbaric, dark country, but a pure and a spiritualistic place with saints and rishis who had sanctified it. Through his powerful speech, he made the Europeans understand that India is a pioneer in culture among the other countries of the world. Kolkata was the heart of India to the Britishers. They believed Sri Vishwanatha Datta and his wife Bhuvaneshwari Devi. Vishwanatha Datta was a leading lawyer. Spiritualism was part and parcel of their family. They had only 3 daughters. They were worried in not having a male child in the family and prayed to God. At this juncture, Bhuvaneshwari Devi had conceived in 1863 on 12th January, the holy day of Mahara Sankranti. A boy child was born. As he was born by the grace of Lord Shiva, he was named Narendra by his parents. At first, Narendra was taught at home by tuition. After that, he studied at Vidyasagar's Metropolitan School. He had the talent of grasping the lessons even while listening once to his teacher. Apart from studies, he had also undergone training in martial arts. Narendra completed BA at Presidency College at the age of 17 years in 1880. He also became a member of Brahma Samaj. At that time, Sri Kesava Chandrasen was the head of Brahma Samaj. He spread Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's teachings and fame through his newspaper. Narendra read many scholarly novels in Greek, German, and English. He had a doubt if he could see God directly. As the days went by, this worried him more and more. He approached many religious leaders and tried to clarify his doubt. No one gave him the correct answer. He indulged himself in deep meditation. He approached Devendranath Tagore, one of the leaders of Brahma Samaj, asked the same question. He looked deeply into Narendra's eyes and said that he possessed the eyes of a yogi. He also added that if he meditates more deeply, he would experience its effect very soon. But Narendra was not convinced with this answer. One day, Narendra was attending an English class in his college when his professor was explaining about William Wordsworth's poetry. The word bliss in the poem was explained. But this didn't satisfy Narendra's doubt. So his professor told that if you meet Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, you can understand the meaning of the word bliss. After hearing this, Narendra's excitement to meet Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa grew more and more. Sri Ramakrishna came to attend a function at Surendra Babu's house nearer to Narendra's house. Narendra was invited to sing a song. Narendra sang a beautiful song in his sweet voice, which had the following lines. O soul, you will reach your own place. Hearing this, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was very happy. Ramakrishna invited Narendra to visit Dakshineshwar once. He gladly accepted it and visited the place in 1881. There he was asked to sing devotional songs. After he sang, Ramakrishna took Narendra separately and asked him why he hadn't visited him so long, as he was very much awaited. He cried that his ears are burnt listening to the people having lot of love for worldly pleasures. At first, Narendra thought if Ramakrishna has become mad. When he came out of the room, he understood that Ramakrishna was a true saint. In the next 4 years, he became the chief disciple of Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa took ill in the year 1885, 3 days before he attained Samadhi. He bestowed all his powers to his disciple Narendra. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa attained Samadhi on August 16th at 1 a.m. After Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's demise, Narendra and his disciples stayed in a deserted old house in the city of Varaha and practiced the life of a saint. They all became ascetics and led a simple life. They also visited holy places. He once explained to a king how idol worship has its own significance and importance. Narendra visited Brindavan, Ayodhya, Agra, Himalayas, Meerut, Rameswaram, and finally came to the southern tip of Kanyakumari in the year 1892. He worried and worshipped the goddess Kanyakumari, and while coming out saw a rock in the middle of the sea. He swam across and reached it. He indulged in the meditation continuously on 25th, 26th and 27th of December. He understood the culture and tradition of India. He realized that India would come out of its poverty and the present deplorable condition and become a superpower in the future. He understood his role was in country's upliftment. After this, he came to Chennai and met his friends. They compelled him to attend the Parliament of World Religions at Chicago in America. They also volunteered to collect the money needed for his journey. King of Kedri invited Narendra to his first birthday of his son to bless him. Narendra changed his name as Chatidananda and Vijayathananda and attend the function. King of Kedri, Ajit Singh, requested him not to change his name anymore and named him as Vivekananda. In the year 1893, on 31st of May, Vivekananda travelled to America's famous city, Chicago. He reached Chicago on July 31st. After reaching there, Vivekananda inquired about the World Religions Conference. He was shocked that it was postponed to 11th of September, and to attend the conference, a religious certificate is essential. He didn't have so much money to stay there and neither possessed the conduct certificate. At that time, a lady called Wright became his good friend and offered him food and shelter at her house in Boston. She also introduced him to J.W. Wright, Greek professor at the Harvard University. He offered the certificate to Vivekananda. Soon he left to Chicago. The much awaited September 11th came. The conference began. Religious leaders from all over the world participated in conference. Vivekananda was the last speaker on stage. Swami Vivekananda began his speech as Brothers and Sisters of America. This caught the minds of 6,000 people gathered there. He explained that Hinduism is the mother of all religions. It preached tolerance to the world as all rivers flow into the mighty ocean. So all religions, which appear to be many, lead us to God. His inspiring speech attracted large crowd of people. His photos adorned the first page of many newspapers. So whenever the crowd was bored by any religious speaker, Swami Vivekananda was invited. His fame spread far and wide. For the next 3 years, Swami Vivekananda travelled across the world to many countries and delivered his message. He came back to India at the year 1896. Due to his restless work during these 3 years, he was affected by diabetes. In the year 1897, on January 26th, when he arrived at Rameswaram, the whole nation celebrated it as a great festival and welcomed him. In 1898, he started a mutt at Belur. He saw that the Belur ashram was running successfully and gave powers to his fellow saints, the responsibilities of all other missions and mutts. In the year 1902, on July 4th, he understood and realized his position and was very happy. He taught some lessons to his disciple and turned towards Dakshineshwar and recited same song which he had first sung before his Guru. Through his yogic power and his vision, he realized his soul from his body. He attained salvation at the age of 39. His body was buried at the Belur Mutt. It is now become his monument. At the Pillar Rock in Kanyakumari, a memorial was erected by Eknathji Ranade, who had collected funds from people to construct this. Today, the Ramakrishna Mission, founded by him, is successfully spreading his doctrines around the world. பொய் சொல்லி தப்பிக்காதே, உண்மையை சொல்லி மாட்டிக்கொள். பொய் வாழ விடாது, உண்மை சாக விடாது. இதயம் சொல்வதை செய். வெற்றியோ தோல்வியோ அதை தாங்கும் சக்தி அதற்கு மட்டும்தான் உண்டு. உன்னை நீயே பலவீனன் என்று நினைத்து கொள்வது மிகப்பெரிய பாவம். பகை, பொறாமை ஆகியவற்றை நீ வெளியிட்டால் அவை வட்டியும் முதலுமாக மீண்டும் உன்னிடம் திரும்பி வந்து சேர்ந்துவிடும். நான் இப்போது இருக்கும் நிலைக்கு நானே காரணம். உடல் பலவீனத்தையோ மன பலவீனத்தையோ உண்டாக்கும் எதையும் அணுகக்கூடாது. வெற்றிகளை சந்தித்தவனின் இதயம் பூவை போல் மென்மையானது. தோல்வியை சந்தித்தவனின் இதயம் இரும்பை விட வலிமையானது. எந்த குடும்பத்தில் உள்ள பெண்மை கொண்டாடப்படவில்லையோ அந்த வீடும் பால், அந்த நாடும் பால். உண்மைக்காக எதையும் துறக்கலாம், ஆனால் எதற்காகவும் உண்மையை துறக்கக்கூடாது. நீ எதை நினைக்கிறாயோ அதுவாகவே ஆகிறாய். உன்னை வலிமை உடையவன் என்று நினைத்தால் வலிமை படைத்தவன் ஆவாய். ஆனால் முயற்சி தேவை. தன்னலம் சிறிதும் இல்லாமல் நிறைந்த அன்பும் பழகுபவர்களே இப்போது உலகத்திற்கு தேவைப்படுகிறார்கள். கீழ்ப்படிய கற்றுக்கொள். கட்டளையிடும் பதவி தானாக உன்னை வந்து அடையும். Take risks in your life. If you win, you can lead. If you lose, you can guide. Strength is life, weakness is death. If you think yourself strong, strong you will be. Meditation can turn fools into sages, but unfortunately, fools never meditate. In a conflict between the heart and the brain, follow your heart. Thank you.